My 2018 anime journey. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another video, and today's video will be something different and new. Today I'll be discussing my anime journey during 2018. Now, as I'm sure you all know, I watched Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sword Art Online, and its spin-off Alternative Gun Gale Online, and even watched Skilled Teaser Takaki-san. But what you may not know is every once in a while I'll add a show that's recommended to me to my watch list, and recently I got help in blowing up my watch list with new recommendations. Whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know, but that's beside the point and not the point of today's video. So anyway, now that my catch is empty, I decided to briefly review the animes that I watched in a video rather than on Twitter so that I could share with a larger audience. Now again, before I get started, for the sake of time so we don't get like a 5-hour long video, all these reviews will be short, sweet, and to the point, and I did not place any of these in any particular order. So, with that in mind, let's get started. First up, The War on Gemin, a 13-episode sci-fi romance anime, and its synopsis is as follows. Mysteriously teleported from Earth, Kenshi finds himself ensnared by a mysterious organization in a world called Gemin, where male mecha pilots are extremely rare. With the promise of returning home, the 15-year-old agrees to pilot a mecha suit called the Sacred Mechanoid and assassinate the ruler of the Shitayu Empire. However, things do not go according to plan as Kenshi finds himself prisoner and an object of scrutiny by Lashera and her shipmates. After learning Kenshi's flight, Lashera offers him a chance to redeem himself by entering her employ. And he will act as her servant, particularly a slave, but also has a chance one more to pilot a mecha suit. Kenshi is willing to endure Gemin's eccentric, let's just leave it at that, if it means to return home, but he will never be able to do so. Now, the anime overall, I found it enjoyable. It had a good balance of action and romance, and was well animated to boot. But one big criticism I had was the episode's length, being almost 45 minutes per episode instead of the usual 23 minutes we're accustomed to. And with that being said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this show an 8 out of 10. And if you ask me if I'd watch this show again, I definitely would. Okay, next up is Trinity VII, a 12-episode anime with its synopsis as follows. One day, the bright red sun stops shining, causing the breakdown phenomenon, the destruction of Arata's hometown, and the disappearance of people inhabiting it. All, however, is not yet lost. By utilizing the magical grimoire given to him by his childhood friend and cousin, Arata's world gets artificially reconstructed. In order to investigate the phenomenon, Lilith appears before Arata. Those artificial worlds suddenly disintegrates, and he is given two choices: hand over the book or die. However, Arata chooses the third option, enrolling in the top secret magic school, Royal Biblia Academy, where 6 other magical users await him. Together with Lilith, these 6 form the Trinity VII, the elite school, which bolsters their own power and skill with the ambition to save Hijiri and the help of his newfound friends. Arata stops at nothing to prevent destruction of his beloved hometown and to bring his best friend back. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I saw on multiple forums how well this anime was ranked and how good it was, so I was astonished when I watched it and found that I could not understand why people thought so highly of it. I did not find it real good in my opinion. I just didn't find it captivating, and it's one of the very few shows that actually made me start to yawn during it. But regardless, I did finish it. But as far as the ranking, I give Trinity VII a 3 out of 10. Don't rank it very high at all. If you were to ask me to watch it again, I'd say no, again, in my own opinion. Third up is God Eater, a 13-episode action anime based on the God Eater video game series with its synopsis as follows. The year is 2071. Humanity has been pushed to the brink of extinction following the emergence of man-eating monsters called origami that boast an immunity to conventional weaponry. They ravage the land, consuming almost everything in their path and leaving nothing in their wake. To combat them, an organization named Finir was formed as a last-ditch effort to save humanity through the use of the God Eaters, special celestial humans infused with oracle cells, allowing them to wield the God Arc, the only known weapon capable of killing the Aragami. One such God Eater is Lenka, a new type whose God Arc takes the form of both blade and gun. Now, as one of Fenrir's greatest weapons, Lenka must master his God Arc if he is to fulfill his desire of wiping out the Aragami once and for all. The monsters continue to be born in mass, while the remnants of humanity struggle to survive the night. Only God Eaters stand between the Aragami and complete and total annihilation of the human race. Now, this anime, in my opinion, was really good. This series I really did enjoy, although that may just be because I really enjoyed the video games, because, of course, this anime is based on the video game. But do you need to play the games necessarily to enjoy the show? No, but it is a nice compliment, in my opinion. Overall, I give God Eater an 8 out of 10, and just like the others, if you ask me to watch it again, or watch this series again rather, that'd be a definite yes. Next up we have The Familiar of Zero, a 4-season adventure romance anime, and its synopsis reads, Louise is a self-absorbed mage in a world of wands, cloaks, and royalty. Although she studies at Tristan Academy, a prestigious school for magicians, she has a major problem. Louise is unable to cast magic properly, earning her the nickname of Louise the Zero from her classmates. When the first-year students are required to perform a summoning ritual, Louise's summoning results in a catastrophic explosion. Everyone deems this to be another failure, but when the smoke clears, a boy named Saito Haranga appears. Now Louise's familiar, Saito, is treated as a slave, forced to clean her clothes and eat off the ground, but when an unfamiliar brand is found etched on Saito's hand from the summoning ritual, it is believed to be the mark of a powerful familiar named Gandalarf. Wild, adventurous, and explosive, the Familiar of Zero follows Saito as he comes to terms with his new life, and as Louise proves that there is more to her than the name suggests. Now, as far as animes on this list, this one I found particularly entertaining. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because I'm a big fan of the hero, magic, and evil dragon genre, or maybe it's because of its emphasis on Celtic themes and traditions, since my family's heritage is all from Scotland and Ireland. But regardless of why I enjoy it, I did. Overall, although I'm not a fan of the harem concept, this show, The Familiar of Zero, managed to use it in such a way that it was more like comedy relief than anything, and I'm happy one of my coworkers who's an anime nut like me recommended it. Overall, I give this series an 8.5 out of 10. It is sad that The Familiar of Zero never reached its full potential due to the sudden death of its creator. May he rest in peace. But unlike the others, when you ask me if I'd rewatch this show, I can answer I already have. It's a pretty good show, in my opinion. And finally on this list, we have Asteric Wars, an action comedy series that, like Trinity VII, was well received on forums and Twitter, and its synopsis is as follows. Long, long ago, an epic catastrophe known as Inverta caused a complete change in the world's power balance. And the years following this disaster, a group known as the Integrated Enterprise Foundation rose to power. In addition to this massive change, a new breed of humans was born with amazing physical skills, known as Genistal, also emerged and joined the ranks of humanity. Asteric Wars follows the story of Iota, a student who just transferred into one of the 6 most elite schools for Genistal students in the world, Sedokian Academy, where students learn to control their powers and duel against one another in entertainment battles known as festas. Unfortunately, Iota gets off to a rough start when trying to return a lost handkerchief to a female classmate. He accidentally sees her changing, which leads her to challenge him to a duel. What most people don't realize, however, is that Iota has no real interest in festas and instead has an alternative motive for joining the prestigious school. What is Iota's big secret? Will he be able to keep his act when surrounded by some of the greatest Genistals in the world? Now, overall, this anime was really good, and I enjoyed it personally. It had an interesting story and characters. It was decently animated and had a good balance of action and comedy. Overall, as a series, I give Asteric Wars a 7.5 out of 10. And like the others, if you ask me if I'd rewatch this series, I would have to answer yes. And there we have it, my anime journey for 2018. I'm still amazed that I finished binging this many shows on top of the regulars, but again, whether that's a good or a bad thing, that's a discussion for another time. And since now that these are done, I'm taking a break from any more recommendations, just saying. But anyway, with that said, in the comment section down below, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Have you watched any of these shows? What were your thoughts? If you haven't watched some of these, are you going to try them now? Any of the above shows, just let me know what your guys' thoughts are in general in the comment section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. All right, everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.